Families of slain. Uromi hunters yet to receive compensation from Edo, Kano state government after 3 months. Good day, my dear listeners. From wherever you're listening from, thanks for joining. This news states that after 3 months, um, Uromi hunters were killed. Their families are yet to get the compensation from Edo and Kaduna government. Moving on to the full details, kindly please ensure you like, subscribe to this channel and share. Families of the 16 hunters from Kano State who were brutally lynched by vigilantes in Edo State on March 28, 2025, say they are yet to receive any of the compensation packages promised by both the Kano and Edo State government. The victims were reportedly attacked and killed along the Uromi-Obajano Expressway in the Eson Northeast local government area of Edo State on suspicion of being kidnappers while returning home from Port Harcourt, Rivers State. The incident sparked national outrage and calls for justice. Following the killings, the Nigerian police announced the arrest of 14 suspects in connection with the mob action. In April, Edo State Governor Monday Okpebholo had met with a delegation from Kano State led by Deputy Governor Aminu Abdulsalam Gwazo and announced the formation of a federal state joint committee to investigate the tragedy. During a condolence visit to the victims' hometown of Torankawa, Okpebholo pledged financial compensation and support for the bereaved families. We are making arrangements to provide compensation to all the families affected by this incident, Okpebholo said. His Kano State counterpart, Governor Abba Kabiru Yusuf, also assured victims' families of justice and pledged financial assistance, including food and relief items. However, over 3 months later, families in Torankawa and other affected communities say they have not received any form of support. Speaking with Daily Trust, 45-year-old Ibrahim Issa, a survivor of the attack, said he still bears physical and emotional scars and has had to pay over 40,000 naira for his medical care despite government promises of free treatment. I can barely feed myself. My children are too young to help. They said they came with money and food, but we haven't seen anything, he said. Zahura Aruna, a widow, said life had become unbearable since losing her husband. I have become a burden to my in-laws. My husband was our only provider. Now we rely on neighbors just to eat, she said. Malambala Dused of Kibia local government area, whose son, Amadu, was among those killed, demanded transparency from the government. They should at least speak to us and explain the compensation plan. Another widow, Hawa Uisa, expressed growing despair. They said justice would be served, but each person they makes that promise look more like a political statement than a commitment. The vice chairman of Kibia local government area, Nasiru Adam Abdulaziz, reaffirmed the council's commitment to pursuing justice. These families deserve answers. We trust the government will act as promised, he said. Efforts to get comment from the Edo State government were unsuccessful. Calls and text messages to the Chief Press Secretary, to Governor Okpebolo Fred Itua, and Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Paul Ohombamu, were not returned. Kano State Commissioner for Information and Internal Affairs, Ibrahim Garba Oluwahiya, who is also a member of the investigation committee, declined to comment. The chairman of the Hausa community in Edo State, Alhaji Badamasi Saleh, told Daily Trust that he wasn't aware of any compensation having been paid. Now I've come to the end of our today's news, and now before I go, of course we all know how this thing is. Definitely, this is between the Edo and the Kano State government. They knows about the money already. So the federal government might have disbursed the money, and it is another thing to disburse the money to the respective quarters. That's why we always say that this government is a corrupt government. They might have disbursed the money from the federal government, and yet we didn't get anything. So my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section